Hey singers, I'm back with Gretchen Parlato. We had a little battery snafu, but we're back and we're talking about rhythm, meter, odd meter, stuff like that. And we were talking off camera and I was like, oh, I want to show you something. So you go and then I'll show you.
About 7?
It wasn't about 7, it was another odd meter.
Where you start.
Okay, so, I'm as restless as a willow in a windstorm, I'm jumpy as a puppy. It might as well be spring. Right. Sometimes I'm not good with names, I just have to sing it and then I get it.
Oh, I was like, I knew it, but I was like, oh, go ahead.
Just listen. So, I have this idea, I don't know why, and this was actually natural to me. So, in terms of odd meters, this is something interesting, and that is that certainly when I was in music school, I tried putting things in odd meters sort of as an experiment. Did it work? Did it not work? You know, I wanted to be sort of more advanced rhythmically, so I tried that. Now, in my performing, I really don't put something in an odd meter unless it speaks to me and says, like we were talking about earlier with the lyrics, it says, put me here, this fits.
Yeah.
And so I recently did this arrangement, I don't remember what key I did it in, but I'm as restless as a willow in a windstorm, I'm jumpy as a puppet on a string. I'd say I have spring fever, but it isn't even spring. I'm sorry I'm vaguely discontented. So it's 11, and I really feel it, go back over here, as if it's a measure of 6 and then a measure of 5, but it really is a measure of 11.
Yeah.
Rather, I'm as restless as a willow in a windstorm, which is absolutely beautiful. There's nothing wrong with that. That was how it was written. But I thought of it as I'm as restless as a willow in a windstorm. I'm jumpy as a puppet on a string. I'd say I have spring fever. So to break that down for you, it's I'm as restless as a willow in a windstorm. I'm jumpy as a puppet on a string. I'd say I have spring fever when it isn't even spring. I'm sorry. So anyway.
Yeah. I would think about a big 6 and 5 as well, you know, and or you know what I would do? Count that again, because I like to hear things in like a much bigger feel. But sing that again.
Okay. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm as restless as a willow in a windstorm. I'm jumpy as a puppet on a string.
I like hearing it like this.
I'd say that I have spring fever, and it isn't even spring. I'm starry-eyed and vaguely discontented.
Right. So it's just a feel. It's not like I'm counting that, because that's going to loop around and around and not always land on one at the same time. But to make those meters feel like it's just like, oh, it's easy, it's flowing. To me, I'm not counting, you know, the smaller time going by. I like feeling it in a bigger way. But feeling it in 6 and 5 is definitely.
Oh, that's cool. I mean, that's something that I don't do. So maybe that's something for me to work on. Everybody's learning something here on.
No.
It's
just a feel, or like the if you have my CD, in a dream. We do an arrangement of, I made this arrangement of a butterfly, and so butterfly, Herbie Hancock's Butterfly is just in 4, but I just took out a couple beats, so instead of it, it's, you know, it's usually, actually, even how he wrote, he didn't write this chart probably, it's in the real book, and I don't know who did it, but they wrote it out, ding, 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 ding. I mean, dun, 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 I'm gonna do my version instead of his, but his groove is big, like ding 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 4. Right. So you could count that quicker though. Ding 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 ding. 2, 3, 4. Ding 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 ding. Right. So to me, I just took out some beats. So I said. Ding 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 ding. I did a bar of 6, and then a bar of let's say I did a bar of 6 and 8, or you can break that down and say that it's 3 and 4. But then 3 and 4 becomes 7. So sometimes people are like, oh, it's like 7.
Right, and in fact, when I listened to it, I thought of it in 7.
Oh, see? And I didn't think of it that way ever. I'm just like,
and so if you didn't see that, it was
and that's a perfect example. And yeah, for me it's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Or that's, but then it's just big. 3, 2, 3, 4. But it's still 3 and 4 and not 7.
Cool.
But it could be 7. So that's going back to this whole thing. The cubes, the three-dimensional cubes, you can see it. It's the same thing. The cube is there. It's all your own perception and what feels good to you. You know, and Lino talks about this, Lino Loecki, when we have played music where, or we have a joke of like, where's 1? Because 1, to him, in the Western ear, in our ears, usually we might hear it in a certain place, but it's like, oh yeah, okay, 1 is, I know where 1 is, but he'll be like, no, 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 and 1 will be like an up, where we feel an upbeat, and that's, the downbeat is really the upbeat, or whatever. And then he's like, oh, it doesn't matter, it's like, just, you know, you, if whatever feels good to you, and if whatever's going to make you kind of fall into it, you don't have to worry about it. But it is, I mean, in a scientific, mathematical sense, it's fun to know where 1 is. But it really comes down to like what feels good.
Totally. And it, you know, if you've ever done any international traveling, somehow you can go to another country where people, you don't speak the language and they don't speak your language, and yet you're able to communicate. So that's the thing with music, is it really, there's so much about perspective. So we're really, really glad to have Gretchen here and giving us some more tips. Let's see if there's anything else, getting out of sort of the rhythm thing, getting back to people who are maybe a little bit less advanced in terms of their rhythmic knowledge. What advice do you have for singers who are just coming up, just starting to learn, and then also for singers who are really established, really good singers? You know, maybe talk about the struggle of being a singer, or the ease of being a singer, depending on how it is for you.
That's a very good question, and there's a lot of simplicity to that and a lot of depth to it at the same time. And what's interesting is that even if you, I would give the same advice to everybody, even if it's to someone who's just beginning and somebody who's very seasoned and doing this a million years. There's a million-year-old woman, actually. She's been singing a million years. She's still alive. She's on YouTube. You could, it's really about connection, really. It's about connecting to something much, much deeper than, you know, than any kind of surface stuff. So the most, you think about the times where music or any kind of art in general has like moved you and made you feel something and made you laugh, made you cry, made you want to get up and dance, or made you want to, like, you know, curl up and whatever. Cry. Exactly. It's good, like when people say, you know, oh wow, I mean, I was crying when I heard you sing. It's like, it's actually one of like the greatest compliments.
Right, that's not offensive, it's because because it means they were moved.
Exactly. So
that's what we try to do, I think, as singers. As musicians in general.
As everything, as art, you know, you want people to have like an actual physical reaction to what you're doing. So I would give that advice to singers of just attempting to connect to that deeper stuff, you know, and then all of the, and let your path, let it come out as it's going to come out, let that path kind of, you know, come as it may, and be a little engine that could, that's just like chugging along, and as long as you stay true to the honesty of who you are, and genuine in your performance and the material that you choose and how you relate to other people, I think that that's what matters the most. And it's definitely not like anybody can do any kind of art. You definitely have to, you know, be disciplined and practice and get it to that point of like where it seems it is effortless. It seems effortless, but the effort is actually made, you know, in the process of doing it.
Absolutely. And this goes for, you know, just because Gretchen's a jazz and world music singer, you know, if you're going to classify her, which we don't even need to do, but, you know, if they do, the same will apply to somebody singing pop, alt, country, or R&B and stuff like that.
No, it goes to every genre, but even not just music, everything. You know? It's just connection. It's deep.
Well, we hope that we've made a connection with you. Sorry, that was cheesy.
Sounds good. No.
You like that little segue?
Yeah.
This is Singing Television. I'm Sara Leib. This is Gretchen Parlato. We're so happy to have her here as a guest. And we are making singing simple. See you next time.